The UK state pension is set to rise again, and on the surface, it looks like fantastic news for millions of retirees across the country. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, has confirmed a significant increase of £562 per year, which will bring some much-needed relief during a time of stubbornly high living costs. For many pensioners struggling with everyday expenses, from energy bills to groceries, this extra money feels like a lifeline. However, experts are warning that there's a hidden catch behind the rise, one that could quietly erode the benefits of this increase and leave many retirees disappointed when they realize what it truly means for their finances. The 2025 state pension boost comes as part of the government's ongoing commitment to the triple lock system, which guarantees that pensions rise each year by whichever is highest: inflation, average earnings, or 2.5%. This year, the rise is driven largely by the strong increase in wages across the UK, which means retirees will see their state pension increase by 8.5%. That sounds impressive, until you start looking closer at what's really happening behind the numbers. For those on the new full state pension, the increase means their annual payout will rise from around £11,502 to about £12,064 a year, or roughly £232 per week. Meanwhile, those still on the old basic state pension will also see a rise, though slightly less generous, bringing their payments closer to £184 per week. It's the biggest boost in years, and the government has proudly announced it is proof of its commitment to helping older citizens cope with the cost of living crisis. But here's the twist: rising payments also push more pensioners into higher tax brackets, and many are completely unaware that this increase could actually result in them paying more tax to HMRC than ever before. The problem lies in the way the tax thresholds have been frozen. The personal allowance, the amount you can earn before paying income tax, has been stuck at £12,570 since 2021 and will remain frozen until 2028 under the government's fiscal plan. While that might not sound like a big issue, it means that as pensions rise, more retirees are being pulled into paying income tax, something that used to affect only a small portion of pensioners. With this new increase, some retirees could find themselves earning just enough from their state pension, private pensions, and small savings to cross the tax threshold and lose a chunk of their extra income to the Treasury. According to financial analysts, this phenomenon is known as fiscal drag, where frozen tax bands and rising incomes quietly increase the tax burden without officially raising tax rates. It's a stealth tax that disproportionately affects retirees, especially those who rely on modest private pensions to supplement their state income. In fact, the number of pensioners paying income tax has already surged in recent years, and this £562 rise could push hundreds of thousands more into that category. Essentially, what looks like a generous raise on paper could end up leaving many with little to no real increase in their spending power once taxes are deducted. Another issue is inflation, which continues to eat into pensioners' real incomes. Even with the latest increase, many older people say they are still struggling to keep up with the soaring prices of essentials. Food inflation may have eased slightly, but energy bills, council tax, and healthcare costs have all risen sharply in recent years. That means the 8.5% pension increase might sound substantial, but in reality, it may only cover the higher cost of living rather than provide any meaningful improvement to retirees' quality of life. Experts also warn that the triple lock itself may be under pressure in the coming years. With the government facing tight budgets and growing calls for fiscal restraint, there are fears that future administrations might look to weaken or even scrap the policy. The cost of maintaining such generous pension rises has become enormous, estimated at billions each year, and some economists argue that it's unsustainable as the working-age population shrinks and more people retire. If the triple lock were ever removed or watered down, future pension increases could fall dramatically, leaving new retirees much worse off. For now, the DWP maintains that the triple lock remains in place, and the 2025 rise is good news for pensioners. But the message from financial experts is clear: retirees should not assume that this increase will automatically improve their standard of living. Between frozen tax thresholds, hidden fiscal drag, and ongoing inflation, the real-world benefit could be far smaller than expected. So while many pensioners may be celebrating the headline figure of a £562 rise, it's essential to look beyond the surface. Understanding how these changes interact with the wider tax system and the cost of living is key to planning effectively for retirement. The rise may look like a victory, but in reality, it's a complicated balancing act between government policy, taxation, and the pressures of modern living. For Britain's retirees, the hidden catch behind this pension boost serves as a reminder that financial relief is rarely as simple as it seems, and that keeping an eye on the fine print has never been more important.